video is going to be a first impressions get ready with me on the Colourpop Secret Admirer eyeshadow palette. I don't know why it's so hard for me to say admirer. Like saying it all together, I had a lot of trouble saying it the first time I tried to film this. So this is my first new palette from Colourpop this year. All the palettes that I tried in January, I had purchased around the end of December, and then I just had a couple of palettes to try from them in January. But I could not resist picking up this adorable palette for Valentine's Day. So I'm going to be trying it out today. I received it in the mail yesterday. So this is what the outer packaging looks like. It's so freaking cute with the hearts and everything. And then the back has all the heart-shaped names and the names of the eyeshadows. And then when you open it up, it opens up like a little envelope, and it opens up like this, and it has like the little Cupid's bow and arrow, and then it opens up like a card. I just think that's so freaking cute. I love it. I think their packaging has gotten so amazing for eyeshadow palettes. We'll get into it later about the other packaging of other products, because honestly I'm not too crazy about the packaging about the blushes, but their eyeshadow palettes have been packaged beautifully lately. So this is what the inner palette looks like. It's the same kind of packaging, and then when you open it up, it does have a little Colourpop logo here, which is so adorable. And then it is a 9-pan eyeshadow palette. So this is the actual palette. I'll give you guys a little bit of a close-up. So it has 5 mattes and 4 shimmers in here. 2 of them are in these little heart-shaped pans, and I think that's adorable. We're just going to jump right into the look. I'm going to do more of like a neutrally toned look today, but I don't know if it's going to stay that neutral tone just because there are a lot of pinky tones in here. I think I'm probably going to stick with these 3 shades here. So the first shade I'm going to start out with is called Hey Girl. No, it's called With Love, not Hey Girl. Hey Girl is the one I just dug my finger into. So I noticed that these kind of easily stain on the outside really quickly, especially when I was swatching. So they are pretty pigmented, so just keep that in mind. That doesn't really bother me too much. Only when I first get the palette, I'm just like, oh, I want to keep it clean for when I haul it. But after I've used it a couple times, I'm like, whatever. But these seem to be pretty pigmented. So the first one I'm going to go into is the shade With Love. Okay, that one, I feel like I got to coat the brush a little bit more. Okay, so this one seems to be pretty light. I actually thought this was going to have a lot more pigmentation. So let's just try building this up more. I didn't really watch too many reviews on this palette. I think the only one I watched was Morgan Turner's, and she said that she liked it. So I was just basically going on her review. I think I had already purchased the palette at that point. I think she got up her review like I think the day after the collection launched. But this shade seems to be a pretty light shade, so I would say probably use this as like a transition shade, but for today I'm just going to use it as my crease shade because I'm not really going for anything too crazy. I just am slapping some eyeshadow on. I have like 40 minutes to get ready, so, and I'm just going to take a little bit over here and kind of just buff it out a bit more. I just find that it's not really laying too evenly, which is a little annoying. I did already prime my eyes with my Colourpop my Colourpop Party Proof Primer. And then I also applied my Dewdrop lip oil on my lips, and then I set my eyes with my Colourpop Pretty Fresh powder, which I've just been obsessed with. But I find that this shade does take quite a bit of building, so, which is a little bit annoying because I thought it was going to be a little bit easier to apply, and I thought it was going to have a little bit more pigmentation, but that is clearly not the case. So just, if you're in a rush, I would say just use this as your transition shade. And also, this color isn't really translating the way that it is in the pan. I thought it was going to be like a cool tone color. This is a straight up warm toned peach shade on my eyes, which is kind of weird. I feel like it completely transformed on my eyes. I don't know if that's just because my brushes aren't the cleanest. I mean, I did spot clean these brushes last night, but I'm just finding that very interesting that this isn't even like the same color that it is in the pan, which is like this cool toned, like lighter brown. And it's like a straight up peach color on my eyes. So that's okay with me because you guys know how much I love warm tones, but I just expected it to be like this color seemed to be the only cool toned color in the palette. So yeah, that's a little bit weird. Sometimes that happens with Colourpop, but not often. That mostly would happen to me a lot with Tarte and their Tartelette and Bloom palette. And I'm going to keep this all in real time for you guys. I'm going to skip the complexion and everything and just like finish up the eyes. So I just really wanted to concentrate on the eye look. Okay, so then the next shade I'm going to go into is this shade called Hey Girl. I definitely want some definition. So I'm going to go into that shade. And it looks like a really pretty like mid-tone like pinky color. I think it's a really pretty shade. Okay, again, this definitely translates more pinky toned on the eyes. Well, it looks like a really pretty shade. It does have quite a bit of kickback, so just keep that in mind. It's not too crazy, nothing that really bothers me, but just letting you guys know if that bothers you. I don't really have too much of an issue with it. As long as the shadows perform, I don't really care. Unless it's like a ridiculous amount, this really doesn't have too much. It's like a typical, what I would expect from a Colourpop palette. Some of their other palettes, like the Mandalorian, had way more kickback than this one. But that blends really nicely. I like that color, so I'm just going to put it over here as well. So what palettes are you guys interested in getting this year? Are there any that have sparked your interest yet? Honestly, the reason why I slowed down in January is just because I was buying way too many palettes last year. You guys know I bought a shit ton. But I also did declutter a bunch of palettes and I started selling on Poshmark last year just to really just clear out my collection of palettes that I really just didn't use anymore. And they were palettes that were getting old. And a lot of people like started buying my stuff on Poshmark because I honestly have pretty good prices because since my stuff is used, I'm not going to really list anything over $25. So like, people have been picking up my product, so that's good. I actually hit a rut where I didn't really sell anything for a while, basically all of January, and then somebody just bought 2 of my NARS blushes, and then they added a bunch of stuff to a bundle, but they haven't purchased that stuff yet, so I hope that they do, but it's not the end of the world if they don't. Okay, so I do like how that shade looks. That's really pretty. This look is turning out a lot more warmer tone than I thought, though, but I think it's pretty, so we'll see how the rest goes. Okay, so now for the outer corners, I'm going to go into this beautiful color. I think that this shade is going to really deepen up the look, and this one is called My Everything, and it's a really beautiful, like, purpley reddish brown. Oh, that color is really pretty. That's actually a really richly pigmented color. Ooh. But again, there is quite a bit of kickback. It's kind of getting on my laptop, which I'm not really feeling that. I mean, granted, I am tapping off the brush. That's a really pretty, like, blood red, purpley red shade. And I really like that. I'm just going to try and tap it off over here as best as I can. And I'm just going to apply it on the outer corners. And I'm going to do the same over here. I'm not really sure which shade I want to use on my lids yet. I kind of want to use one of the deeper shimmers today. I kind of wanted to be more of like a sultry look today. But honestly, by all means, I probably didn't need this palette, to be honest. I just thought it was super hella cute, so I wanted to get it. And I really thought it was going to have more pinky tones in it, but it really doesn't. And honestly, I'm still kind of lacking a pinky toned palette from Colourpop. And I thought that this would be it, but this one's not really that pinky tone. But they do translate more pinkier on the eyes. Just not really the pinks I'm looking for, which is like rosy pinks, which like for some reason, like most of their palettes, even though they market them as a rosy toned pink, they're not really that pink toned when you actually look at the actual shades in the palette. All right, so now I'm just going to put some glitter glue on and then we'll do the rest of the look. Okay, so I just applied my glitter glue. I think for the lid shade, I want to use this shade called Heatin' Up. And it's a really pretty like bronzy toned, almost pinkish bronze shimmer. It's pretty. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that on. Yeah, it's like more of like a rose gold bronze. That's pretty. I like that color. Ooh. But again, these shades are just like very similar to some other palettes, but probably not similar to any palettes that I have from them. I don't know. I never really go through my palettes too often from Colourpop. I feel like I have to pull all of them out and see which shades are similar, but I really try to buy palettes from Colourpop that aren't really that similar to each other, and they're all usually ones that add something to my collection. And I pretty much know all the palettes I have from them, so this is a really nice metallic though. It is making my lids a little bit texturized though, but I don't really mind that because it's super pigmented. It is just a little bit texturized though. I don't really typically notice that with Colourpop shades. So that's a bit interesting because I feel like this is more of like a high metallic formula, which I love from them, so I'm not really complaining. It's pretty. All right, so I'm just gonna go clean up the look off camera and we'll do my base because I don't want to waste your time forever doing everything on camera, so I'll be back. Okay, so I went ahead and did my base. Now we're going to jump back into the palette, but I just want to tell you guys what I used. So of course I went in with my MAC Fix Plus Cucumber Spray, and then I used the NYX Marshmallow Primer for my skin to prime, and then I used the Tarte Hydroflex Serum Foundation in the shade 12N, and then I used the coinciding concealer in the same, no, 8S Porcelain Sand. This was like the lightest shade that they had in this. It's a little bit, it's fine on my skin. I can just notice that it's a little bit darker than my neck, but honestly, it's really not noticeable at all. And then I just used my Becca Hydra Mist powder to set my face, underneath my eyes and everything, and then I used the Pretty Fresh powder to set my face. My face does feel pretty dry today. Like I'm feeling some tightness, so I'll just spray a little bit more of the Pretty Fresh spray. All right, so now let's get back into the eyes. I'm going to go ahead and just finish up with the palette. I think I'm going to take the shade All Night and put that on my lower lash line. And then I'm going to take the shade In the Mood, which is going to be a beautiful inner corner highlight. So let's take the other matte I haven't used yet, and we're just going to smudge that ever so lightly on the lower lash line. I don't know if this is too pink, but we're just going to roll with it. Did I use this one? No, I didn't use it yet. I keep on thinking there's only 4 mattes in here, but there's 5. I'm not in love with this shade underneath, but I like it. It's just like not, doesn't look that smooth. It's pretty though. Do the same over here. These do have quite a bit of kickback, which I kind of feel like this is not their greatest matte formula I've used. I think the matte formula in the last 3 palettes I mentioned in my favorites video were definitely better, like the Plush Like Me, the Orchid You Not, the Rudolph, and the Limoncello. All better than this one. This one definitely has quite a bit of kickback. If you guys can see that It's kind of like going up in clouds as I'm smudging this. It's okay. It's not their greatest matte formula. And then for the inner corners, I'm going to take that shade called In the Mood, which again has a lot of pickup to it. So just be mindful of that. I didn't realize how much pickup that was going to have. Yeah, that's quite a bit of kickback as well. It's still, these shades are still performing great. It's just not really feeling how much dustiness is in the palette. That's a little bit annoying. And it's kind of making it get into the other pans in the palette. I like this one. It definitely pops on the inner corners, but again, it's very particly, so it's kind of like just picking up very piecey on my brush. But it still pops and it's still beautiful, but it's just kind of like getting some fallout. So, yeah. Like it kind of just got all underneath there. But it's still a really pretty shade. Just not really feeling that kickback. Kind of making a little bit of a mess. Okay, so that is pretty. Let's fix up the eyes and then we'll go into the rest of the products that I'm going to try. Okay, so for liner, I used the... Oh my... I'm so annoyed right now. I used the Colourpop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Sunnyvale, which is just the one from the liner set that I use all the time. And then I just used the Act Natural Mascara, the brown, on my top lashes, and then the Lash Discovery on my bottom lashes. And then I used the Ilia bronzer in the shade Drawn In. And now I would like to try the Colourpop heart-shaped blush that I got, but I can't get the freaking thing open. This is literally like the hardest packaging. I bet if I had nails, I'd be able to open this, but my nails are just so soft at this point from getting them done with the gel. But at the same time, there's like, it's not any like push opening. Like you have to like physically go under it and then open it, and I can't get it open. So I'm going to try for another like 2 minutes, and if I can't open it, I don't know what to do. I did get it open last night, but that's only because I used a scissor. But the scissor just is not working today. So I don't really know how to get this open right now. I finally fucking got it open. I'm sorry for cursing, but like, this is ridiculous. I've never had this much trouble opening a blush. So it better be the best blush I've ever tried in my life. But I mean, literally ridiculous. So this is the shade Kiss and Tell. And I'm going to apply that to my cheeks. I mean, it's pretty, but I feel like their blushes are not as pigmented as they used to be. And I used to like love their blushes. This is pretty, but it's kind of sheer. It's a really nice color, but honestly, that was really annoying. And there is no kickback to it though, but oh my god. That literally took like a century. It makes me like not want to use it ever. Like I wanted like another like go-to color from Colourpop to use on an everyday basis, and this is going to make me not want to use this. I'll just put it on display, I guess. But I didn't get the heart-shaped blushes last year. I wanted to get one this year since they relaunched them, because I thought that the Valentine's Day collection this year was way better. This is the only shade that they relaunched from the original colors. But oh my god, that was a task to open. So I could barely open it last night too. But I can't believe that took me that long to open. And God forbid I want to go back and put more on if I think I need more. So I think that's pretty good. But that was ridiculous. Okay, and then for my highlighter, where's my water? I'm going to use a new highlighter to me as well from Colourpop, and this is the Soul Body Shimmering Body Powder in the shade Bronze Hour. Let's get real. I never use these on my body. These are a little bit difficult to open too, but they definitely don't take as long to open as the freaking blush did. So I usually can get these open pretty easily, but everything is trying me today. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm just gonna use a tweezer because that's definitely easier to get open with a tweezer. But the blush I literally had to open with a scissor again. So this is what the shade looks like. Of course, like, it made me fall so behind to get out of the house. I think this is a really pretty color. I wanted something from this collection. I was originally going to get the eyeshadow palette, but I was like, I really just don't need more eyeshadow palettes, and I ended up getting the Secret Admirer palette anyway. And I just thought the dragonfly packaging was just so beautiful, so I decided to get this highlighter. And I'm so glad it's in the smaller packaging rather than like the huge compact. I actually thought that this was in the bigger packaging, but it's not. And when it came, I was like, thank God it's in the smaller packaging. Okay, this shade is a little bit darker than I thought, but it's still really pretty. I think I'm going to use my fingers to apply some. These still always apply the best with fingers. Okay, it's a bit sparkly, but most of the soul, I just like, why do they have to keep on coming out with these soul body highlighters? I just feel like there's too many at this point. Like, it's cute and all, but like, can we just, and this, they're basically Super Shock highlighters just in a bigger compact, but I miss like the old school ones because those ones are beautiful. I mean, at least they've been launching the old school ones with some collections, and the packaging, don't get me wrong, is stunning on this collection. It's a pretty highlighter. It's a little bit dark for me though, but it's really pretty. I can just get away with it. So super cute packaging. Absolutely love this dragonfly packaging. So now we'll just finish up with the lips. Okay, and then for the lips, I'm going to go in with the Barbie Malibu Barbie color lipstick in the shade Golden Beach. It's kind of like a pinky nude. It's not too pink though. It's really pretty. I was gonna order one of the lippies from the Secret Admirer collection, but I didn't order it with the first order that just came yesterday with those 3 products that I just tried. I ordered it like a couple of days ago when I ordered some other stuff. So I wasn't able to try it today because I just ordered it 2 days ago. And I was like, should I wait to get it in order to try the palette? But I was like, no, I'll just get it. I'll just try it. See, this is like way more of like a nudie pink shade. Alright, and that's pretty much it. Okay, you guys, so this is the finished look. Here are the eyes, the cheeks, and the lips. So overall, I think that the look turned out really pretty. It actually turned out way more pink tone than I thought it was going to be. It's a cute palette. I think it's adorable. Honestly, out of everything in this collection, since the blushes are so hard to pick up, I think that the palette is definitely something worth picking up. I think it's really cute. I think you're going to get a really pretty look out of it. I think that this is going to be a really easy palette for neutral lovers for Valentine's Day. I think that this is going to be a perfect choice for you if you want something neutral tone but also a little bit sultry and sexy. I think that this will definitely be a pretty palette to use, especially like most people are like staying in now for Valentine's Day. Not a lot of people are going out still because of COVID. I feel like this is a really cute palette for that. So I think it's cute. Did I necessarily need it? No, but it definitely turned out more pink tone than I thought on the eyes, and it's a really pretty pink look. So I think it's cute. I love the packaging. The blush, I'm not really sure, honestly. It's cute, but since I had so much trouble opening it, I don't think you really necessarily need it. I do think that the highlighters, they're all the same formula, so I think that they're adorable. And if you were interested in any of these soul body highlighters, I think that they're great. So just pick out a shade that you think that you would use the most often. You don't necessarily have to pick up the same one I did, but I just think that the packaging was so adorable on this. So yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry for the struggle. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at CPW819 and check out my Poshmark at the same handle. I need to go. Please let me know if you guys picked up any of these products, if you were interested in any of these Valentine's Day launches. Have you picked up any Valentine's Day palettes? Do you even care about Valentine's Day? Let me know in the comments. So yeah, I love you guys. Bye.